There's an increasing cohort of young men who are very porn addicted. So why don't we get alongside all of these people, now I'll talk about that in a sec, and actually encourage them and say, look, we want to help you overcome these other issues, because nearly always then that is resolved, the gender confusion. So men addicted to pornography, as you know, there's chemicals in our brain that require increasing levels when it comes especially to sexual behaviours. And there's a condition called autogynephilia. AGPs is what the short way of saying it, autogynephilia. And these men have gone down the rabbit holes of pornography. They're so addicted, it gets more and more extreme. They end up in sissy porn or transgender porn. And now they have this fantasy that they are women, but it's not just that they are women, it's that the rest of the culture has to relate to them as women. And you will note that a lot of the adults, in particular males, they dress in hypersexualized ways, they behave in hypersexualized ways, and they put themselves into women's spaces, sports or services, so that they can dominate women, because that's the fantasy, and we all have to go along with that fantasy, which is very different to a lot of the girls who are trying to transition or think that they can transition. Nobody can ever transition. These girls have been, a lot of them actually impacted by porn as well, but on the opposite side. They want to get out of their sexuality. They don't want to be treated like the object that pornography treats women as. So they are identifying out of being a woman to try and protect their sexuality, whereas the men are identifying into being a woman so that they can be hypersexualized, that they can walk down the street in the most disgusting costumes that most of us women would never, put on, and then, come into our change rooms, come into our sports, come into wherever they can, and that fulfills their fantasy.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Oh, mate, there's so much to be said. There's so much to be said.
I have a question. Wasn't the term like transgender is not used as much maybe a decade or two ago?
Correct.
As much as she-male?
The she-male, and also just transvestites and transsexuals. I actually have a lot of supporters who are men in their 60s and above, and let us say, we've never had a problem really with transsexuals or transvestites, because it was just, all right, they're guys, they're getting their rocks off, they're down the King's Cross or wherever, doing their thing, but they weren't trying to make me call them a woman. They weren't trying to come into my spaces or sports or services. They weren't coming after my children. They were just blokes who, that's what they did. That was their fantasy. They lived it out. So there's actually a lot of these guys in particular who support the worker binary and other organisations, because they don't want the children doing these things. They know the cost to their own lives and their own communities of what has happened there. And so, she-males definitely, in some of the Asian countries, they're ladyboys, but there's been none of this insistence that the law protects them at the expense of actual women.
Can I ask, going into the transgender thing, are you aware that a candidate for the Liberals was cancelled partly because of his comments on this?
Just recently?
Yeah, Ben Britton.
Yes.
So the lead headline was, the first story that came out was that he's come out and he said women shouldn't serve in the front line, which is a highly uncontroversial statement.
Agreed.
In fact, you'd agree with it.
100%.
66% of the audience, they agreed with it. The likes on those videos were 100% actually, which never happens. Andrew Hastie, Shadow Minister for Defence, Peter Dutton's Defence Minister, he said that in 2018 and he still believes it today.
Yes.
The US, they believe it under the Trump administration. The late great Jim Molan in 2011 said this is actually quite experimental. We shouldn't be doing this. But he was cancelled because of that. Now, when they dug into it, and sorry, but this is just a fresh thing that's happened. Yeah. When they dug into it, Ben Fordham was like, look, I don't know why he's being cancelled. Doesn't make sense. The Liberals came back and they said, it's because there's other things. It's like, what other things? And so he's seen the transcript from the episode and he doesn't see anything outrageous, but some of the Liberal contacts that I have said the reason partly he was cancelled was his comments in saying that porn is a funnel to become transgender for a lot of men. But that's exactly what you've just said.
It is, and it's 100% true. And there's documented evidence. I don't have it off the top of my head, so please don't ask for it.
Of course.
But, even Organisations like Collective Shout with Melinda Tankard-Rees, they do a fabulous job. Lyle Shelton's sister, Letitia, does work in this area. I think that's her name. But yeah, there's a lot, and Dr. Helen Joyce herself and other people in the UK. The links are undeniable, and really all you have to do is go onto social media and see the accounts of a lot of these men, and they're there in their bra and undies, if they're in their bra and undies at all. They're being perverse, they're being gross, they're being hypersexualised, and by their own admission, they're addicted to pornography. So it's not... Look... And unfortunately, in our culture, I remember doing a post maybe 2 years ago about the harms of pornography, particularly to women and children, and I was absolutely smashed, and I was stunned. That was probably one of the most shocking moments of my whole, public life, I guess, just to think, I can't believe how many people are defending pornography here, knowing that, and I will say this, sex is not a spectator sport. It is designed to be fabulous between a married couple, and that's it, and it's not meant to be viewed. I also think that a lot of guys who watch porn end up thinking they're homosexual or whatever because they're being aroused by seeing a male body, but it's just not true, and it's doing so much damage, and I will come out and say it. I won't apologise for that.